Hello my friends, 13 months ago I've posted the most successful video on this channel, the comparison of Omega Seamaster 300m and Seiko Aquaracer 300m, and today I would like to make an update on that video to share my personal thoughts on these watches after a longer period of wearing. So I've bought the Omega in July of 2015, it was my dream watch for a long time and I've basically chosen this watch because for me it was the perfect blend of a tool watch and fancy looking watch. I wore it for a year as my only watch and even now, 2.5 years later, I can really say that I enjoy wearing this watch as much as I did on the day when I bought it. In August of 2016 I have bought Seiko Aquaracer 300m, mostly to have sportier alternative to the Seamaster and to have something to switch between. The price was quite good, I got a good deal, and since it was completely new watch, I've decided to make a video about this watch with my smartphone camera, hoping that it will get at least a couple of hundreds of views, and as of today it somehow has 83,000 views, so big thanks for that. So these are both diving watches, 300 meters water resistant, with unidirectional diver's bezel, screw down crown and screw down case back, sapphire crystal, and Omega also has helium escape valve at 10 o'clock. The dials are also very legible during the day and in the darkness as well, thanks to the Luminova, which is used on the indices and on the hands. So all of the proper diving watch stuff is here. Diving watches are still one of the most popular types of watches. People really like sports watches and diving watches are sort of beefier version of sports watches, and I guess that the idea that the watch can withstand rough conditions and still look good with suit is appealing for watch enthusiasts, which is why diving watches are so popular. One area where both of these watches excel is case finishing. Here I have to say that the Omega is a level above Tag Heuer, which is where a significant part of the price difference is originated. There is very nice polishing on the upper part of the case and fine brushing on the sides and deeply engraved or stamped seahorse on the case back. Those polished locks are really impressive, it is a signature feature of many Omega watches. I also love how the crown guards are shaped, and generally there is a lot of details on the case of the Seamaster. Aquaracer is really well made as well. The case has specific octagonal shape. That is a heritage passed down from predecessors of this watch. The sides are polished and the upper parts are brushed. There isn't as many details here as on a Seamaster, but the surface finishing is flawless as well. The shape is more masculine and sporty looking, and on the caseback there is also nice stamped vintage diver's helmet typical for Aquaracer series. Both of these watches are 41mm wide. The Aquaracer is also made as 43mm version, and there is 36.25mm version of Seamaster. For me, 41mm is the perfect size, and also the wearing comfort of both is very similar and very good on average sized wrist. Ceramic bezel is nowadays a standard in this price category. Both Seamaster and Aquaracer have it. On Aquaracer the numerals are engraved, and on Seamaster numerals are flush with the surface of the bezel. Also the color is a bit different. Aquaracer bezel is jet black and Seamaster bezel changes the colors from gray to dark blue. Especially in sunlight it looks really good. Regarding the bezel turning action, the Aquaracer in my opinion has the best turning action and sound of all of the watches that I've tested on this channel. It is very positive, there is no play, and the clicks are very precise. Seamaster bezel is really good as well. There is just a tiny amount of play, hardly noticeable, and the clicking sound is also nice. On Omega, the coin edge on the bezel is one of the controversial parts of this watch. I personally don't mind it, but it is not to everyone's taste. Regarding the dials, Omega has gloss lacquer dial, and it is definitely my favorite part of this watch. Especially outdoors in good light, it looks really amazing. The sapphire crystal on this watch has anti-reflective treatment on both sides, which means that you can see the dial very clearly and the crystal is causing much less distraction. Also the printing on the dial is very fine. I also like that the date wheel is black and the numerals are white or silver. Indices are filled with Super Luminova, legibility is very good, and the hands are also filled with lume. Not everybody likes these skeletonized hands, I personally do like them. It is a specific design element on this watch, and overall the dial with all of those details is certainly nice to look at. The Aquaracer has very different dial with horizontal stripes. Those are also really nice and they make watch more interesting overall. Printing is also sharp, although applied logo would be nice. The date wheel here is white. As I've said, I would personally prefer black disc with white numerals. There's also magnifying cyclops over the date. I personally don't like it. It doesn't match the sporty characteristics of this watch in my opinion, but I can live with it. The hands and indices are also filled with lume. Both Aquaracer and Seamaster use white and green lume to distinguish hour hand and minute hand. The lume is really strong and low light visibility is not going to be a problem with this watch. The hands and indices are also quite large. Some people don't like that, but I personally do like it. And actually that is generally what I like about these watches. There are some specific design elements. The design is definitely not safe like on some other diving watches, and that in my opinion gives these watches more character. Regarding the movements, Calibre 25D in Omega, which is modified ETA 2892-A2 with coaxial escapement, performs really well in this watch. During 2.5 years that I own this watch, it has always been within +1 to -1 second a day accuracy. The crown operation is great, real power reserve is more than 50 hours on this watch, and it is 3.5 Hz movement, which is specific to Omega coaxial movements. Overall, I can only say positive things about this movement, and I don't miss fully in-house movement in this watch at all. And now we get to what tech or doesn't want you to know part. Honestly, I did have serious problems with the movement in this watch. It was doing about -seconds a day for a long time. Then it suddenly started to make over -20 seconds a day without any reason. I have sent it to tech or a service center, and according to the documentation, they have regulated it. But after a couple of days it was back at -20 seconds a day. Then I decided to regulate the watch myself. I found out that the movement inside of this watch is Sellita SW200-1 in the lowest grade, without any decoration whatsoever. It is placed inside plastic holder, and the only thing that holds the movement in place is crown stem. I don't blame Heuer for this, it is what I have expected. Although using basically the cheapest acceptable movement option in watch with MSRP of 2,150 euros highly increases probability that some problems will occur. Fortunately, I was able to regulate the accuracy and it is fine now. Real power reserve of this movement is about 40 hours and it is 4 Hz movement. And last but not least, let's take a look at the bracelets. Omega comes with characteristic bond bracelet. It is made of 5 links and there is a lot of details and polished accents. The bracelet is also a controversial part of this watch. Again, I do like it. It gives the watch more character, it makes it easily recognizable, and the wearing comfort is excellent. It is 20mm wide and the links are held together with screws, but those are very difficult to work with, and sizing this bracelet for the first time is a real pain. The original clasp features diverse extension but no micro adjustment options, which is why I swapped it for the adjustable clasp for Planet Ocean. It is plug and play, I use those adjustments all the time and I certainly recommend getting that clasp. I bought Aquaracer with rubber strap mainly to differentiate it from the Seamaster. This is so-called bi-injected strap with yellow inner lining, which I really like, and it gives the watch a touch of color. I also like the horizontal stripes, those complement the stripes on the dial. Also the wearing comfort is really good, it is 20mm at the lugs and it tapers down to 18mm at the clasp. The clasp took a bit of time to smooth out. It was a bit difficult to close when I bought it, but now it is alright. In terms of durability, it looks and feels really good after 1.5 years, although the fitment to the lugs is now a bit loose. So overall, I'm really happy to have these watches. This combination matches my style. Both have a lot of character and specific design, and ultimately both look good in my opinion. I don't regret buying either of them, although due to my belief that Heuer is now spending too much money on ambassadors and too little money on making actual watches, I don't see myself buying another tech anytime soon, although that might change. So that's it for this video. It was really pleasant to make one after a long time. I will try to make more videos in near future, although honestly I don't really have any new watches to shoot, but I will try to get something. So thank you for watching, I hope that you liked this video and that you found it to be useful. Stay tuned for more videos and maybe consider subscribing if you don't want to miss my future content. I appreciate your feedback in form of thumbs up or thumbs down. If you would like to ask anything or share your opinion, please do so in the comment section, and see you next time.